好的，开始录制了。I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Linda. You can call me Jasmine. Thank you so much for enjoying me for this interview. I will ask you some questions about the my portfolio and the design industry. I want to get some experience through this interview. My first question is, what inspired you to pursue a career in digital media design or a design-related career?
Okay, well, the first question is because along the way, when I was young, I started the professional training as as a designer, right? So this is how I started at the beginning, right? I would say another reason mainly is because of the family cultivation, right? And I was born in an art family, and my mother and also my grandfather, they are all dedicated. They all devoted themselves into the art education, as a matter of fact, right? So this is how I started training at home, started sketches and painting at the very beginning, right? So yeah, that's my answer. Yeah.
Okay. What software tools and technicals do you consider indispensable in work?
So I will say is there isn't a fixed answer for that because it depending on what are the areas that you're working on mainly, right? If you're a graphic designer, then probably Photoshop, Illustrator, and also InDesign, right? InDesign is mainly for publication design, for no matter it is for e-publication or it is just for physical printed books, right? So the question there isn't a fixed answer for that in terms of the softwares.
Okay. Can you share a particularly challenging project you have worked on?
I think so. The challenging part in general, I'm not going to go to the details of sharing with a certain some projects that it was involved, but in general, the difficulty is you have to understand as a designer or media designer, things that you like doesn't mean is something they're looking for by the is not looked by the clients, right? So always have the understanding of give your first priority to serve to the customer is the thing that I can share with you as a fresh grad of graphic designer or media designer.
Okay, can you share your experience and the lessons learned in finding a job in digital media industry or a design related industry?
That experience, yeah, sure, definitely. Yeah, but it's also case by case because you cannot expect my experience really help to you, right? For me, is after my graduation of bachelor degree that I started my career, but it's just that it's as an intern. Okay, so as an internship, I started being an internship, but the title they give it to me is a graphic designer come marketing executive. So after have a year of internship, then I back to school to continue my master's degree in fine arts. Right. So after my fine arts studies, I got my cert in the same time. I'm quite lucky, I would say, because before the graduation of master's degree, I got a job. Right. Yeah. So this is how it was. I would say the overall journey was quite smoothly. Most importantly, is I guess in the same time when I was a master's degree student, I have already started my career as freelancing, graphic designer, right? So I got involved into quite some of the high quality clients. I got the opportunity to work with them, right? Such as Tiffany & Co, the Prudential Singapore, and some of the luxury products and brands, right? So I would say if you got the opportunity of studying and also working in the same time, please do it, right? Because it's very important for a designer to establish yourself. That's the first thing. Secondly, is to gain the working experience in the real world instead of just purely focusing on the school projects.
Okay. With the rise of artificial intelligence, how do you see the future of digital media design?
You are still definitely in the future you will still be the master of the tools instead of controlled by the tools.
Okay. Uh, Looking at the design industry sector as a whole, is there a company or teams that you particularly admire?
What's your question again?
Uh, Looking at the design industry sector as whole, is there a company or teams that you particularly admire?
Yeah, definitely. Google or Apple, these are considered as the corporate companies, and they are the companies that they consider design is at the center, right? This is what we call it the design-centric organizations. These are the companies that I would say I admire them, right? Yeah, personally, yes.
Okay, now I will show my portfolio website. Maybe you can give me some like suggestions. Okay.
Mm.
And I will show my best work about advertising. Okay. What are your overall impressions of my portfolio in terms of presentation, organization, and virtual appeal?
To be honest, my first impression is you have to know what is the purpose of you creating the portfolio. It is for applying a school or is applying for jobs. What is your objective that you have to firstly understand that, right? So that you set your goal clearly, your design will also be, nicely organized, right? My first impression is when we're looking at the landing page, I don't know what is my focus should be, right? And that's to say, I don't know where are the things that I should look at it. Because in the landing page, which is the first page that you displayed, it includes too many things, right? Including your painting, including your sketches. But what's your selling point, right? You have to treat yourself as a product, for example, right? As a product, what's your unique selling point? What is the first thing that you want your client or your employer to see, right? To give them a impression, right? Who you are. And, your personality is also important. When looking at your design, I cannot really tell this part has been well established, right? So these also are things that you have to work further. You have to work on it in the future, right? Ask yourself, what are the things you're going to create and why, right? What is your goal that you are trying to achieve?
Okay. Uh, Based on what you have seen in my portfolio, do you have any recommendation or next step or areas of focus to further develop my career as a designer?
As a designer, yeah, sure, definitely. I think firstly as uh, a way of thinking as a designer, right? You have to understand the importance of organization, right? Why I'm pointing out this is because you have to know how to create the hierarchy, not only just for, I'm not just saying the zero hierarchy, but also the hierarchy in terms of what is the first thing that you want to show it to your client? What is the second thing? What is the third thing? Primary, secondary, and tertiary. You have to be organized in a way, get yourself ready to show that to the audience, right? So first thing that you have to improve is the way of thinking, right? You have to be more logic, right? More logical. Secondly, if in terms of design, yeah, definitely is the uh, I think should be the typography, right? Typography is something that observe and through your video that you haven't been really developed further, right? You have to do some research and think about how you should applying a better typography or typesetting skills that merging well with your video production.
Okay. Are there any specific markets or industry where you think my style of portfolio could be particularly well received or sought after?
What's your question? Could you simplify your question?
，Are there 就反正类似就是意思是说你觉得有什么适合我的行业吗？就是我可能会比较适合之类的。
No, I don't answer this question. Yeah.
OK
Yeah, you have to think about it by yourself instead of asking others, what are the jobs that I should do? It's your own way, right? It's the pathway that you have to build up for yourself instead of ask others.
OK, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
要录制。
OK，我跟你讲一下，其实我觉得很简单的一点就是你的